Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. During the declared emergency, Committee of Adjustment virtual public hearings are being conducted by electronic means through WebEx, an online digital platform, and streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel. These measures are necessary to comply with physical distancing requirements and in-person attendance limitations. My name is Isaac Laluz, and I'll be chairing the hearing. Panel members participating today via WebEx and can be seen and heard are Ms. Tarodi, Ms. Sankar, Mr. Bartolo, and Mr. Klassen. City staff will be assisting us throughout the meeting, including moderating the WebEx platform. And today with us, some on the site, some online, we have Dan Antonacci, who is the Deputy Secretary Treasurer, Simon Glam, who is the Senior Planner, Kelly Reid, Amir Nissan, and Chris Pereira. Participants who have registered in advance will be able to make their presentation to the committee using the said WebEx. Anyone wishing to view the hearing may do so by watching on YouTube. These participants will be connecting either by their computer, a phone, a tablet app, or by telephone. All participants will automatically be muted upon entry. When your item is called, each participant will be unmuted by the moderator, one person at a time. Only the committee members will be participating by video. Any registered speaker will be participating by audio only. We ask that you also mute your devices until you're called on to speak. And for those who are waiting to speak, please use the same phone number you originally registered with. Calling with a different number, you will not be able to speak on the item. For land acknowledgement, we acknowledge the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. In accordance with Section 45 and 53 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. The Committee of Adjustment considers applications for variances from the provision of the zoning bylaw that applies to the property, permission to extend or alter legal non-conforming uses, and consent to sever property to create new lots. Anyone in attendance today who wants to receive a copy of the decision must request by email. Please ensure that you include your name, address, and email address because Committee of Adjustment and the TLAB will be sending notifications and appeal instructions by email only. If you do not agree with the decision of the committee, decisions may be appealed to the Toronto local appeal body known as TLAB, or in some limited circumstances to a new tribunal called Ontario Land Tribunal OLT. Appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the decision of the committee. The hearing procedure continues as follows. I will call each item in the order listed on the agenda. Where an application is uncontested, the agent or applicant will proceed with their presentation if required. The committee may ask questions and or take the matter directly for decision. Each speaker, including the applicant agent, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. I will comment when the 5-minute mark is reached. When addressing the committee, please clearly state your name and address, and please remember to confine your remarks to the matters applying in the application only. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee. Please note that the committee may not entertain revisions to proposals at the hearing today. The committee may decide to defer the application if substantially revised to ensure the revised application is accurate and that all those entitled to receive a notice are informed of the changes. Then individuals either in support or in opposition to the application will be invited to speak. Committee members may ask questions of each speaker at the end of their presentation. When all speakers are finished, the applicant agent has the chance to address only those issues that were raised by the speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion, and the application will be taken to committee for decision. Now, we have here one request for a deferral, which is item number 25, 177 Snowden Avenue. And here the agent is Ali Shakiri. Ali Shakiri, are you there?
Yes, sir. Ali Shakiri, 326 Shepherd Avenue East.
Thank you. Okay, so you're asking a request. Could you tell us, please, the reason why you're requesting the deferral?
Indeed, there is a right-of-way that is registered on this property. We recently found out that was not shown on the previous survey that we had received. So the new identified right-of-way will actually add to the list of variances. As such, we have to defer it and
Okay.
add the necessary variance.
To investigate and address the right-of-way. Okay. Members, we don't have any other speaker, just this. Any question? If not, can I have a motion to defer? Mr. Bartolo?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I'll put forward a motion to defer this application sine die to allow the applicant to deal with their easement issue.
Thank you. Second? Ms. Tarodi, all in favor? Okay. Sir, your application is deferred sine die, right? Okay, so that's it. Okay, before we start, members, any conflict of interest to declare for this afternoon? No? Staff either? Okay, our first item is 15, which is 281 Glengrove Avenue, application 15, and here we have Mr. Lorne Rose. Mr. Rose, are you there? For item 15.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, okay, now we hear you. Could you please just repeat your name and address for the records here?
Lauren Rose, I actually live at 283 Glen Grove, right next door.
Thank you. Okay, so we have here third floor addition with the rear deck and structure, 2 variances minor, and 2 letters of concern. There is no report or anything else. Members, do we need a presentation? No? Yes? Yes, Mr. Tarodi, you need a presentation? Okay. Mr. Rose, can you please make a short presentation?
Sure, you can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. You have your 5 minutes.
Yeah, I couldn't hear the members, but that's okay. So this is an application to modify a previous approval done in 2018. All we're adding is a little bit of space on the 3rd floor, and we're extending an excavated terrace in line with the house. There's no other variances required. The letters of objection are from people who live on the street behind and further west. Not sure. The concern seems to be about drainage and the big excavation, but the committee doesn't deal with drainage. This does meet the 4 tests of the Planning Act. Planning has no objections.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
I can answer questions.
Very good. Thank you. That's a short presentation. Okay. Any question? Can I have a motion, please? Ms. Sankar?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair, I think I understand what's happening with this application, and I do agree with the agent. I feel that given the explanations provided, I'm willing to accept this application. So I'll put forward a motion to approve this application without conditions.
No condition. Thank you. Second, Ms. Satarodi. All in favor? Okay, thank you. Your application is unanimously approved with no conditions. Item 16, which is 30 Newton Drive, application number 16. And here we have David Eagleman. Are you there? David Eagleman?
Good afternoon,
Hi.
Sir Chair and fellow committee members.
Could you please repeat your name and give us your address?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. My name is David Eagleman, 900 The East Mall, Suite 300, and I am the agent on behalf of the owner.
Thank you. So we have here, this is a new dwelling, 7 variances. Staff report is asking to refuse, and the councillor is supporting the staff for the refusal. So could you please give us a presentation? And we also have somebody online to speak. So could you please give us a 5-minute presentation as to the merit of the application, and we'll start your 5-minute now.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. Before getting into the variances, I would like to note that despite the refusal recommendation from city planning staff, we have had consultation with planning staff, and we have made revisions to the proposal, which are noted in my cover letter that is dated November 25th, 2021. And the revisions are to the satisfaction of city planning staff, so they do not have any concerns with the application any longer. And that is documented in email correspondence that should also be within the committee's package from community planning staff. Surrounding neighbors have also been consulted, and a number of neighbors have provided signatures in support of the proposal, including the adjacent neighbor at 32 Newton Drive. And I've reviewed Urban Forestry's report regarding this application, in which they recommend standard condition number 1, and this condition is acceptable. Regarding variance number 1, this variance is largely due to the grading condition of the subject property, which slopes downwards towards the rear of the subject property. The intent of this requirement is in large part to limit the projection of platforms that are above the first floor. The proposed rear deck will meet the intent of this requirement, considering it is accessed at the first floor and will be no higher than the first floor. Regarding variance number 2, the proposed lot coverage is only 1.94% or 8.83 square meters above what is permitted as of right, and the additional massing associated with the proposed lot coverage will be imperceptible from the street as compared to an as of right dwelling. The proposal is also compliant with the permitted FSI and number of stories, which demonstrates that the proposed lot coverage is in keeping with both the existing and planned context for the neighborhood. Additionally, there have been a number of previous approvals for lot coverage along Newton Drive and within the broader neighborhood, including 26 Newton Drive approved at 32%, 31 Newton Drive approved at 32.1%, and 44 Newton Drive approved at 32%. Based on these approvals, as well as the justification provided, it is demonstrated that the proposed lot coverage will be in keeping with the existing character of the neighborhood and will have little to no impact further than an as-of-right dwelling on the subject property. Regarding variance number 3, the proposed building height is only 30 centimeters greater than what is permitted as of right and will also be imperceptible as compared to an as-of-right dwelling on the subject property. The proposed slope roof design will further contribute to minimizing the potential impact associated with the additional height, and as such, the proposal will maintain the existing character of the neighborhood and will fit in harmoniously with adjacent and surrounding dwellings. Moreover, the proposal is compliant with maximum number of stories, and as demonstrated in the submitted neighborhood photos, which I would kindly like to ask staff to pull up, there are a number of dwellings within the neighborhood that appear to be at a similar or greater height as compared to the proposal. So if you just scroll through those photos slowly, you will see that there are dwellings within the neighborhood and along Newton Drive that are very similar to what is being proposed through this application. Regarding variance number 4, The proposed side exterior main wall height is largely a result of the proposed integral garage, which is a common characteristic along Newton Drive, as demonstrated in the submitted neighborhood photos as well. The proposed sloped roof design will contribute to minimizing any potential impacts associated with the additional side exterior main wall height, and the proposal is also compliant with the maximum number of stories. As such, the proposed side exterior main wall height will be in keeping with the existing character of the neighborhood. Regarding variance number 5, this variance has been eliminated. Regarding variance number 6, this variance is required due to outstanding appeals to the current zoning bylaw 569/2013 regarding height, and the proposed building height is in keeping with the existing character of the neighborhood, as I've discussed previously in relation to the height variance under zoning bylaw 569/2013. Regarding variance number 7, this variance is also required due to outstanding appeals to the current bylaw 569/2013, and the proposal does not have a variance for first floor height under bylaw 569/2013, and the proposed first floor height is in keeping with the existing character of the neighborhood. Based on the provided justification, I am of the opinion that this proposal fits in with both the existing and planned context for the neighborhood, is consistent with the redevelopment trends along Newton Drive in the broader neighborhood context, and for these reasons, I believe this application represents good planning and meets the test under Section 45(1) of the Planning Act.
Thank you.
I would like to note, just through you, Mr. Chair, I did not presentation, but my presentation was referring to the revised variances
Okay.
as per my cover letter.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt you. You were so, you made some explanations, but I need, without explanation, just give me the number of variants and what you're changing it to.
No problem. So through you, Mr. Chair, variance number 1 is being revised to 3.38 meters.
Okay,
Variance number 2 is being revised to 31.94%.
31 point?
31.94%.
94, okay.
Yep. Variance number 3 is being revised to 10.3 meters.
Okay,
Variance number 4 is being revised to 8.33 meters.
okay,
Variance number 5 has been eliminated.
yeah,
Variance number 6 has been revised to 9.89 meters. And variance number 7 has remained unchanged.
very good. Okay, so this is basically like a different application. All right, let's see what the, we'll bring you back after we speak to the other speakers. We have here Armin Ismailpour. Armin Ismailpour, are you there? How about Hisaki? Oh, Hisaki.
Mr. Chair, Armin has just left the hearing.
Okay. Armin left it. How about the other one? He said here. Sorry. Oh, that's his full name. So there is no other speaker here. Okay, thank you. Okay, members, the one who was listed to speak just left, and that's all we have. You saw the changes the applicant made. Any questions to the applicant? If no questions, then can I have a motion then? Who wants to address? Oh, I have to. Mr. Tarodi. Two of them at the same time. Okay, please go ahead.
So through you, Mr. Chair, I would like to put forward a motion to approve this application with the following changes. Variance number 1, the proposed rear deck protection is now 3.38 meters from the rear wall. Variance number 2, the proposed lot coverage is 31.94%. Variance number 3, the proposed height of the building is now 10.3 meters. Variance number 4, the proposed height of the side exterior main wall is now 8.33 meters. Variance number 5, eliminated. Variance number 6, the proposed building height is now 9.98 meters and also subjected to forestry.
Yeah, the last one, 7, is unchanged. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and
7 remains.
number 6 you said is 9 point what?
9.8.
Yeah, 9.8. That's what he said. Yeah, that's what the agent said. 9.8. Okay. All right, and there is forestry, right?
Yes, subjected to urban forestry memo.
Thank you. Second, Ms. Sankar, and all in favor? Thank you. Okay, unanimously approved based on those changes you made and subject to forestry. Number 17, which is 115 Holmes Avenue, application number 17, and this is Ken Tai. Are you there?
Yes, good afternoon, Chair and
Hi.
committee. My name is Ken Tai.
And your address, please? Your address? Your own address?
Address is 12 Rosemount Avenue.
Thank you. Okay, so we have here 7 variances to build a new property. Staff report has the condition, eliminate number 1 per applicant. You made some changes, and B, they want to modify number 6, and they have a number here, and the councillor refused variance number for the coverage of 33.28. So can you please make your presentation and tell us exactly what you want to change so we can go from it?
Okay, yeah, Chair, the number 1, we will eliminate it totally. And we also agree with the staff report. The number 6, we will likely to drop to 32%. Instead of we're asking 33.28, we will drop it to 32%. And also, when we go through the variance, talk about the heights. It is our main roof is actually 7 meters high, and so it's only the dormer that we.
Excuse me, before you explain it, just tell us what you're changing it to. Number 1, eliminate
Yeah.
it. Okay, go ahead. Number 6,
Oh, wait.
32%.
Number 6, 32%. And
Yes,
that's it. Yeah.
that's it. That's the change.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the only 2 changes. Okay, now you can make your presentation.
Yeah. Okay. So when we go look into there's a site plan. It is a corner lot, and it's again number 1, we're going to eliminate it. Number 2, talk about the height. If we're going to see the A9, which is the elevations, the staff report also mentioned that our main roof and the main wall height is actually 7 meters. It's only the dormer is exceeded the height. So we would like to follow the staff recommendations. If you want to tie into the design for what we're asking, we're willing to do it. And then for the lot coverage, we're willing to drop it to 32%, make the building smaller. And all the other, and number 7, I want to mention that it's about the parking side is actually existing conditions. We just put it back in the existing driveway, that's all. And so I just make it brief. That's it. Any questions, I'm willing to answer. Yeah.
Thank you. Members, any question? If not, can I have a motion? And you got the changes there. Anyone for a motion? Okay, again, I have 2 motions. Okay, Ms. Sankar, go ahead, please.
Okay, through you, Mr. Chair, I believe that the explanations provided by the agent here today and the changes that he's made does make me feel that this meets the 4 tests. So I'll put forward a motion to approve this application with the changes made by the agent here today, in that variance number 1 is eliminated and variance number 6 is reduced to 32% to meet the staff report, as well as the proposal be developed substantially in accordance with the east-west elevation, with the west elevation drawing submitted to the committee. And that's my motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Second, Mr. Klassen. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, unanimously approved based on those changes and the condition of the staff condition. Number 18, which is 146 Castlefield Avenue. And here we have Mr. Drew Laszlo, are you there?
I am indeed. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Could you please, again, just state your name and address?
Yes, I'm Drew Laszlo, agent for the owner. Address is 3317 Young Street.
Thank you. And you have the owner listed there with you. Are you the ones who will be speaking for the application?
Yes.
Okay.
I will be the only one speaking.
All right. We have here, this is a new dwelling, 2 variances, staff report, just a condition to build per site plan. Members, do we need a presentation? No. Okay. Sir, Mr. Laszlo, we don't need a presentation. Do you want to say something before we move to the decision?
I think things are pretty well straightforward. There is one thing I typically wouldn't give additional information, but this house is actually built already, so it's not an application for a new house. The owner just wants to make the space under the deck habitable and connect it to the basement. So as a result, we need a length and depth variance. But this was already before the committee a few years ago, and it was approved. Nothing that we're proposing today has any effect on the exterior of the house. It's 100% interior.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any question to this speaker, or maybe a motion? Can I have a motion then? Mr. Bartolo, go ahead. Mr. Bartolo, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, I understand the applicant's explanation and the condition with the area underneath the deck, so I'm going to put forward a motion to approve this application subject to the recommendation of the staff report of December 2nd.
Thank you. Second, Ms. Sankar, all in favor? Okay, unanimously. Sir, your application is approved, subject to the staff condition to build per site plan. Okay? Now, number 19, which is 293 Viewmont Avenue. And here we have Andrew Dales. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, please state.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please state your name and address for us.
My name is Andrew Dales, Dales Consulting at 147 Liberty Street in Toronto, and I'm here as the planning consultant for the owner of 293 Viewmont.
Okay, so here we have an additional story, 5 variances. The staff report has only a condition. So the condition of the staff is subject to the approval of the site plan arrangement. Apparently there's a site plan that was agreed upon and was signed. So could you
Correct.
please, could you please briefly cover there, because I don't have any other person speaking here. So just briefly so we can move on.
Sure. So I can describe the variances that we're requesting. My understanding is that there, I just want to open the zoning notice quickly. I thought there were 4 variances that we're asking for. Just one moment.
There's 5 listed, but I believe the one for the amenity space is an error.
Yes, let's embed.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So the maximum. So the max permitted GFA is 1110, and we're requesting 1217 square meters. Maximum permitted height is 4 stories and 16.5 meters, and we're asking for 5 stories and 18.5 meters. Required number of parking spaces is 10, and 9 are provided, so a shortfall of 1 space. And finally, this common outdoor amenity area is 750 square meters, and 0 is provided. And you'll note that in both my covering letter and the staff report from community planning, they confirmed that the common outdoor amenity space was never intended to be provided in this project, and the requirement for this space was included in the site-specific zoning bylaw in error. So this item is really kind of technical in nature, because we're just kind of correcting an error that was baked into the bylaw unintentionally.
Okay. Okay, just a little bit, could you clear up the confusion for me? We have 5 variances. Are you changing anything?
So I'm just looking at the variances you have here.
Well, you said 5.
Parking is,
Go ahead.
yeah, so parking number 1 is accurate. Number 2 is accurate, the GFA. Number 3, in terms of the outdoor recreation amenity area, is accurate. Number of stories is accurate. And, oh, I see. So I just included stories and height together, but yes, 4 and 5 are stories and height, and those are both accurate. So yes, it's 5 variants.
So they are 5 variances. Okay. All
Yes.
right. So 5 variances, no changes. Okay. Members, any question? The question, can I have a motion there, please? Mr. Bartolo?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. I'm understanding this kind of the complications with this file here with respect to the outdoor amenity area, and in reviewing the staff report. I do think what's being requested is minor, and I will put forward a motion to approve this application subject to the recommendation number 1 in the staff report noted.
Okay. Second, Mr. Klassen, seconding. All in favor? Opposed? No? Oh, you're for. Ms. Sankar, you're for. Tarudi.
I am in favor.
You're for. Okay. Sir, your application is approved, subject to the staff report condition, okay? Okay, number 20, application number 20, which is 24 Lakefield Drive, application number 20. And here we have Joe Battaglia. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, could you please, we don't have any other speaker, but we need you to make a small presentation and cover the changes that were mentioned in the staff. They apparently there was the tour to be reduced and so on. I have recorded, but you need you to state which variances and you changing it to what?
Variance number 1 has been eliminated. We're going back to 60% landscaping on the front.
Yeah, please don't explain. Just tell me, number 1 you're eliminating. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Please go ahead.
The next one is number 4. We're complying with staff recommendation, and our parking driveway is going to be 7 meters at the widest point, no more than 7 meters at the
Okay,
point.
7 meter instead of the 8.04.
Yeah.
That's it?
And then the last one, coverage, we're reducing from our 36.45% down to 34.86% as per staff recommendation.
Right. Okay, that's number 2. That's variance number 2. Okay. All right. So please, you want to make a small, short presentation?
I've read the staff report, and I agree with their comments. I believe that this is a minor variance, and the variances are minor in nature, and in keeping with the applicable section of the Planning Act, I ask that the committee approve it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Members, any question? No question? Can I have a motion then? Ms. Tarodi?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I would like to put forward a motion to approve this application with the following modification. Variance number 1 have been eliminated. Variance number 2 The lot coverage is now 34.86%. And variance number 3 is a change to 7 meters and also subjected to urban forestry.
Yeah. Okay. I believe. No, I believe it's number 4, not number 3. The driveway. Is that
Yes, sorry. Number 4
right?
regarding the driveway. Sorry. So number 1 eliminated as per staff request and applicant request. Number 2 and number 4
Yes.
have been modified.
Okay. All right. And there is no other condition. Okay.
And
Second.
urban forestry condition?
Sorry.
With urban forestry condition?
Is there forestry there?
That's what I had.
I didn't see it, but
on my
that's
note.
there
Is there any urban forestry?
Okay, it's forestry there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. There's forestry. So, do I have a second? Can I have second, please? Mr. Klassen seconding. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Okay, sir, your application is approved unanimously, subject to forestry and based on the conditions you just made. Okay. Application number 21, which is 194 Pleasant Avenue. And here we have Thomas Goral. Are you there?
Yes, good afternoon, Chair and committee members.
Hi, can you please state your name and address for us?
Yeah, my name is Thomas Goral. The address I'm representing is 194 Pleasant Avenue.
Thank you. And here we have new dwelling, 6 variances. The staff report has a condition regarding the length and the depth, the restrictions. Can you cover that a little bit so we can move on?
Yes, so the reason for the length and the depth is because it is much longer than allowed by almost 2-3 meters. However, the reason for it is because I guess Toronto now includes in building length underground. So that length is for the basement. We're putting a theater room underneath the patio. So that length is strictly for the basement and not for any levels above grade.
Very good. Very good. So you're okay with the description of the staff condition?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because that's exactly what it is.
Thank you. Any question? Members, any question? I see part of them only. Okay. No question? Okay, can I have a motion then, please? Mr. Klassen?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. These are minor and they do meet the 4 tests, so I'd like to move to approve this application subject to the 2 recommendations from staff and also that it be subject to the urban forestry urban forestry report.
Thank you. Okay. And second, could I have a second? No second? Oh, Ms. Sankar. Okay. Okay. All in favor? Okay, I see all the hands now. Thank you. Okay, the application is approved, subject to the condition of the staff and forestry. Number 22, which is 2 Sparwood Court, application number 22. And for that we have Giancarlo Tari. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you please state your name and address for us?
My name is Giancarlo Tari.
The address, your own address?
In Cambridge. Yes, address is 180 Sheldon Drive in Cambridge, Ontario.
Thank you. Okay, so we have here 22 Sparrow. So what we have here is a new sunroom, 3 variances, and staff report has a condition to build in accordance with the site plan drawing. Members, do we need a presentation here? No? Okay. Sir, we don't need a presentation. We can move directly for a decision unless you have something to mention.
I will leave it in your good hands.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Can I have, if there's no questions, can I have a motion? Ms. Sankar? Ms. Sankar first.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I'll motion to approve this application. I think I understand what's happening with this application, and I think it does meet the 4 tests in my eyes. So I'll put forward a motion to approve this application. I'll make it subject to the December 2nd staff report that states that the rear yard setback, building length and depth be developed substantially in accordance with the site plan and the drawing attached to the report. And that's my motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Second, Mr. Klassen, all in favor? Okay. Sir, your application is approved, subject to the condition of the staff in accordance to build with the site plan, etc. Okay. Now we have a number 23. Number 23, which is 91 Snowden Avenue. And here we have Mr. Ali Shakiri. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Ali Shakiri, 326 Shepherd Avenue East. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, we have here, there's a new dwelling, only 2 variances, but there is staff report recommends refusal. And the counselor also, it goes with the staff report for the refusal. Now, do you still want to go ahead with this, or you want to defer?
So with your permission, I prefer to defer this case to have time to discuss this matter with the planning department, and also my client wishes to further discuss this with the neighbors and the council.
Okay, so deferral to discuss with the think and maybe to adjust. Okay, so we have, unfortunately, we have to listen to all the people who are registered, and we'll let them know what's happening. Scott Stevens, are you there?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Okay, you heard what's happening. The agent is asking for deferral so they can negotiate with the neighbors and also maybe make changes. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that, Mr.
Thank you.
Chair.
Thank you. Chris Healing, are you there? Chris Healing.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Huh?
cool. Yeah, you let me know what you want to do on Mondays, but yeah, this is
Excuse me, can you please?
again, it just goes back to I don't necessarily disagree with Gary, although on principle, if I chose to fight it, I know exactly my angle.
Excuse me, hold a second.
Part of the group. If he's booking for him, he's booking
Excuse
for
me,
us.
there is some confusion here. Could you please stop 1 second? Is your name Chris Helling? Are you Chris Helling?
Yeah.
Yes? We don't hear you. Can you please speak to the mic? Mr. Chris Healing, are you there?
Mr. Chair, let's move down the list and then we'll come back
we'll
to
move
Chris.
on. I know. Mr. Healing, one more time. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so we have a request to defer the application. So that means we're not going to discuss it today. We're not discussing it. We'll discuss it when it comes back. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Next is Russell Leong and Manuin Leong. Are you there?
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Chair and committee members. I'm Manuin Leong from 89 Snowden Avenue. Can you hear me?
Thank you. We hear you. You heard what's happening. The agent is asking for
Yes.
deferral. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that, and I look forward to discuss with our neighbor 91 Snowden on
Okay.
how this will develop.
Very good. And you'll be advised when the application comes back. And here we have.
Thank you.
Thank you. Winhan Wong. Winhan Wong, are you there? One more time. Winhan Wong, are you there? Okay, so we'll move on.
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, so
Hello.
yeah, you're Winhan Wong?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, you heard what's happening. The agent is asking for deferral, meaning we're not going to discuss it today, only when it comes back. You're okay with that?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Terry Mills.
Yes, I'm here. It's Terry Mills. I have no problem with a deferral. I would ask, though, that they submit their plans for a plan review because previously they'd done this by waiver.
Yeah, thank you. We'll when it comes back, you'll be notified when it's coming because we're not discussing it today. Okay. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is Gregory Goverdares. Are you there?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr.
Hi.
Chair and members.
You heard what's happening, yeah? With differing, the agent is asking for deferral. That means we're not going to discuss it today. You're okay with that, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not okay with that 100%. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, but it's not your decision. They're asking for deferral. We're listening to all of you, and we'll make a decision whether we defer it or not. If we defer it,
I know.
If we defer
I just
it,
want to tell you my position. So I'm the neighbor at 95 Snowden Avenue with him, at the 91 Snowden Avenue. And in the summertime, we had a discussion. He was talking about building a house.
Excuse me. We can't hear anything about the application. If we defer it, we're not discussing it today. When it comes back, you'll be notified, and you can come back and you discuss it. Right now, we're going to.
Okay, thank you.
We're just dealing with the question of deferral. Okay. That's it. Okay. Members, any question to Mr. Shakiri, who's asking for deferral, to discuss with the neighbors and also maybe make changes? No? If not, can I have a motion for deferral? Mr. Bartolo? Mr. Bartolo?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'll put forward a motion to defer this application sine die to allow the applicant to make revisions and work out their issues with the neighbors and deal with planning.
Thank you. Second? Ms. Sankar, second. All in favor? Okay. So, Mr. Shakiri, your application is deferred sine die and check with the staff when it's coming back. Application number 24, which is Princess Avenue, and is again Mr. Ali Shakiri. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Ali Shakiri, 326 Shepherd Avenue East, for the record. Good afternoon again.
Thank you. This is for new dwelling. We have 5 variances. Staff report modify number 1 to 32%. 2 letters of objection, 2 letters of support, and councillor refused the coverage of 32%, which is mentioned by the staff. Okay, so do you want to give a very short presentation? We have nobody else here, so cover please the question of the coverage.
Yes, sir. For this application, also I have to request a deferral. That's due to a missing variance. Basically, the garage being on the Princess side is a variance. We have to bring it back with the missing variance, and when we bring it back, with all respect to the planning department and the councillor, we will reduce the coverage to 32%.
Okay, thank you. Members, there is no other speaker, and a request for deferral due to a missing variance. Can I have a motion there, please? Mr. Bartolo?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I'll put forward a motion to defer this application to allow the applicant to get all the variances on the agenda.
Thank you.
That'll be sine die.
Thank you. Second, Mr. Klassen, all in favor? Okay, your application is deferred sine die as requested. Thank you. Application number 25 was deferred. Application number 26, which is 105 Young Boulevard, application number 26. And here we have Ida Evangelista.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members. Ida Evangelista on behalf of the owners of 105 Young Boulevard.
Thank you. Okay, we have here no dwelling, just 5 variances, forestry condition, nothing else. Members, do we need the presentation? No? Okay. Ms. Evangelista, we don't need the presentation. And do you want to add something before we move to the decision?
Mr. Chair, I'm comfortable with that. I believe my submission outlines everything. I spoke to planning, so I'm quite comfortable with going straight to in committee.
Thank you. Members, any question? And if not, can I have a motion, please? Going once, going twice. Mr. Klassen.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I will move to approve this application. It is minor. It does meet all the 4 tests, and it'll be subject to urban forestry as well.
Thank you. Second, Ms. Sankar, all in favor? Okay, thank you. Ms. Evangelista, your application is approved, subject to forestry. That's number 26. Item number 27, which is 101 Heathcote Avenue, number 27. And here we have Kristen Weldon.
Hello.
Hi. Kristen Weldon, could you please state your name and address for us?
Yeah, it's Kristen Weldon, 101 Heathcote Avenue. I'm assisting the homeowner in speaking about this, and she should be on here as well. Her name is Yun Luo.
Yeah, we have Yun Luo, who is listed here. Who wants to speak, you or Luo?
I'd like to start, and then she would like to add some things in regards to her son and why we requested some minor variance.
So please go ahead. We have here number 27. This is to widen existing 4-yard blah, blah, blah. And 7 variances. Staff report is asking to refuse. Transportation report recommending deferral. And we have a letter of objection. So could you please tell us what's the merit of this application?
Basically, I read through the letters of objection, and they're more so talking about the fact that the work was done prior to permits being obtained. And I did write this in my cover letter. We had partnered up with a pool company to do this job. And in our partnership, the pool company took all our information and was supposed to get all the permits. And he assured us that he had them, and we started the job, and we were stopped because we were told the permits were never obtained. So immediately I started doing my own work and obtaining the permits ourselves. We are no longer working with that pool company, just to let you know, because of the holdup and that he didn't do his part. It is our responsibility to make sure the permits are obtained. So I take responsibility for that. But we did complete about 80% of the project before it was done, and we were unaware that there was a certain percentage allowed of hardscape versus softscape in the yards. The homeowner here can vouch. The reason why we did so much hardscape is because her son has asthma, and grass pollen, some plants and trees, they all cause asthma to flare up. I did submit a doctor's note to the ward counselor on November 23rd. I obtained it later. So I had contacted the ward counselor's office and I spoke to her assistant, to which she stated to send her an email explaining everything. And I submitted photos of everything and why we were looking to get the variance adjusted for at least the hardscaping. So that would be, I only have 4 listed as my variances on my notice.
Yes.
I'm confused about the 7.
No, there are 4. Okay.
Okay, so this would be in regards to 1 and 4 for the landscaping right now that I'm talking about.
Now, are you making any changes?
I would hope not to, because we have had all the work pretty much completed. The only things that we left were the gazebo, which was another permit that we were told was going to be obtained through this other contractor. Anyways, so we'd like to keep it all the same, but we are open to making some changes as long as it's not ripping up the entire job that we just completed. I also have, where is it? Number 3, the variance number 3, where the driveway. So in that time, we had just widened a certain section, and I had to obtain the original building permit to apply for this driveway extension application. And through my research, I noticed that the original builder hadn't even put the driveway in as he described in his drawing. So in my application, I added the other builder's modifications to my application to include that for the driveway extension.
Okay. So that's it?
It's quite complicated.
Okay, now, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you. You said you're open for some changes if it doesn't make a big difference. We do not negotiate here. You tell me what you want to change it to, and we'll make the difference and we'll make the decision. Now, are you changing anything? You have 4 variances. 4 variances. Tell us which one you want to change or nothing. Then we'll make our decision.
Okay, we are willing to put extra planters along the driveway edge leading up to the front steps. The reason why we extended the driveway on either side was just for aesthetic reasons. No one's going to be parking their vehicles on it. But
excuse me, could you please not to explain anything? Just tell me which variance you want to change and if you're changing it to what?
Oh, then the driveway extension variance to note a non-drivable area in that portion that's noted as extension. We'd like to leave everything as is, but if
that's it. So
not
you're leaving
approved,
everything as is.
can...
Okay, your explanation was confusing.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so you're leaving everything
sorry.
as is. Okay. Now you have. You said Yun Lu is with you, and she want to say something.
Yes, yeah, and you can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Can you please tell us your name and your address, please?
Sure. My name and last name Luo, first name Yun. The address is 101 Heathcote Avenue, North York, Ontario.
Okay. So tell us what you want to say before we move to the next speaker.
Okay, because my son has asthma and he's allergic to pollen and dust. So that's why at the beginning I was telling them to kind of like remove a lot of grass as a landscaping. So because I asked them to put a swimming pool there, so in the summer they can enjoy some time in the backyard. But if with a lot of landscaping there, my son maybe have another asthma attack. Actually, he just had one couple of days ago. So That's the reason I asked them to kind of decrease the landscaping. So as just hoping we can do as what's planned before.
Okay. Well, thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Any question for the speaker? Mr. Bartolo, do you have a question?
I do, Mr. Chair. Just based on the site plan here, what has been completed and what is yet to be completed with respect to the hardscape?
Do you want the agent to
For the previous speaker or the current
Yeah,
speaker?
well, we
whoever
have
can
some
answer
other
this.
speaker before we go there. We have one more
I see.
speaker. Do you want it to be answered right now before we go to the next speaker?
I'll hold my questions till the end.
Thank you. Okay, we have here Mike Green. Are you there, Mike Green?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, can you please state your name and address for us?
Mike Gree, and I'm at 15 Portsmouth.
Thank you. Tell us what's your concern about this application.
Well, when I saw the application, I was just concerned about all the proposed, the limited proposed soft landscaping in the front and rear of the house. Going from having 46% rather than 75%, and having 32% rather than a minimum of 50%. We live in a neighborhood of like large, generously sized lots, and I just can't understand why we're getting rid of all the greenery. I mean, I sympathize with the neighbors. I guess the son's condition of asthma. I'm hearing this for the first time. A lot of our lots in this neighborhood are my lot is 90 feet wide. I mean, so they're generously sized. I mean, I think it spoils the neighborhood if we're replacing all the greenery with concrete, and also with respect to flooding. We need the soft landscaping to absorb the rainfall. I sympathize with the neighbor, with the son with the asthma, but I don't know. I'm hoping that a suitable compromise could be reached. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Any question for the speaker? If not, we'll get back the agent. Christine Weldon, can you come back here, please? Kristen Weldon, can you come back, please?
I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, so please address the concern of the speaker there regarding the landscaping, and then we'll go to the members who have questions.
Okay. I understand we're exceeding the soft landscape area along the the west side and the south side of the property. We have put it's Riverstone on top of landscape fabric, and then on top of soil. So in our drawings, it notes the darker, I'm not sure if you saw the drawings, but the darker gray areas in the back along the rear property and along the entire west side is all an area for water to drain into, and we're putting it along those sides because the property slopes that way. So and then she's got planters in where she's got, the water can drain into that. And that's why, and then I'm trying to appeal to her son's allergies as well. So it might not be green, but there is drainage areas. It is Riverstone, but it is landscape fabric and then topsoil. So there is drainage there. It won't be flooding into the rear property or she's on a corner, so it would go into the boulevard on the public land.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bartolo, you had a question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So I guess with respect to the agent's previous comments there, the plans indicate the installation of interlocking on the west side of the property, but you're saying you did all of that in river rock and geotextile and topsoil?
So basically I'm not sure if you guys have see the drawings there, but the whole rear of the property is interlocking, and then you'll see an area I had shaded in a darker gray where it is soft landscaping. It's softscape, and it's along those sides of the property, and it's from a distance it looks like it's more interlocked, but when you go up to it you see the river stone, and underneath that river stone is just landscape fabric and topsoil, so there is drainage along those sides. Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm looking at the drawings right now, and what portion of this is already completed?
So the landscaping's completed. The gazebo is installed but not completed. It was stopped halfway through. And then if you see the shed there, the extension was started. It was framed, but not completed, which we were just going to do some fancy tongue and groove on the inside. And that's just a change room for the kids because the original shed is going to be where all the pool equipment is.
I see.
And the gazebo is an open face area for the parents to lounge and watch the children. And it also blocks from public view because it's a metal pole fence. So it was almost like a privacy thing that can still see through, but it's a privacy area. So, not everyone's staring at her kids swimming.
So that was stopped because the permit wasn't issued, and that was done in error. Is that correct?
That was a complete error and reliance on someone else, but it's also our error for not obtaining the permits from the other contractor involved. So.
Right, and then the installation of all of this other hardscape, that was done in error because no site plan application was completed properly?
No, we rarely do work in the city of Toronto, so we didn't know that there was these variances existing. So there was no application done for hardscape. My boss, the owner of FH Construction, has done multiple landscaping areas, and there's never been an issue with gathering permits because of allowances of area. So we were a bit thrown off. And when we found out all this, we also found out that the building permit itself was still open, which was under the builder to close. So a lot of things came up that we were unaware of. And I'm trying to fix everything so we can complete the job and move ahead. So I'm trying to do everything properly so that this doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, I'm sympathetic to what's happened here, and it seems like a lot of stuff was done in error and in ignorance. I have a motion, Mr. Chair, if nobody else has any questions.
Yeah, I'll see if there's another question. Any other question? No? Okay, motion please.
Yeah, this may not be typical, but I don't want the homeowner to suffer. It looks like a lot of mistakes were made here. So my motion and suggestion is to defer this application and have the owner and the agent go back to planning, see how they can increase the landscape coverage without affecting what's been done too greatly so far, and better understand and better apply and better work with the open applications, because right now it's a mess, and I don't want to see the homeowner suffer financially or not get what they want because things aren't in good order. So my suggestion is that they defer this and go back to planning.
Sanidai?
Sanidai.
Okay, do I have a second for that? I have 2 seconds. Which one was it? Which one was this? We have 2. Please, can I have a second, please? Ms. Sankar. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Okay, unanimously deferred Sanidai until you fix the information, okay? #28. 28, we have 240 Bedford Park Avenue. And here we have Mel Rosenblatt. Are you there?
Yes, I am, Mr. Chairman.
Could you please?
Mel Rosenblatt, 53 Neptune Drive, Suite 203, Toronto. I'm the representative for the homeowners.
Thank you. Okay, we have here is a detached garage one variance minor, there was nothing else. Members, do we need a presentation here? No? Okay. Sir, we don't need any presentation. Do you want to add something before we move to a decision?
No, I'm sure that the committee reviewed the attachment to the application and understands that the variance is minor in nature.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Can I have a motion there, please? Mr. Klassen?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. This is minor. It does meet all the four tests. I'd like to move to approve this application.
Thank you. Second, Ms. Sankar, all in favor? Okay. Sir, your application is unanimously approved and there is no conditions. Item number 29, which is 78 Burbank Drive, application number 29. And here we have Joe Battaglia. Are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Very good. Okay. We again, I know who you are. You just kind of before. Could you please state your name and address for the record?
My name is Joe Battaglia. I'm at 1050 McNichol Avenue in Scarborough.
Thank you.
Unit 14.
Thank you. Okay, we have here interior and exterior renovation. That's just the 50% of the wall kept. One variance, TRCA, no objection, and we have nothing else. Members, do we need the presentation? No? Okay, sir, we don't need the presentation here. We can move to the decision unless you have something to add.
The only thing I can say is that we were notified for some undiscernible reason by someone in the planning that that there was an undetected variance that they want to recirculate this to I guess the local neighborhood because one variance was skipped or missed in the zoning review. I like to say though that this house, we're not changing any of the outside part of the house except for a little part in the middle of the house. So I don't understand why this has to be deferred, but they asked us to do that. But we're not changing the external shape or height of the existing, except for that little piece in the middle, which we're putting a parapet to make it look a little bit more modern looking.
Okay.
Because the house appears to be a little bit dated.
Okay, we don't have any deferral in front of us. We have one variance here, and if you have nothing else to say, we'll make a decision. Is that correct?
That would be optimum. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Members, can I have a motion, please? Mr. Klassen?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. This is minor. It does meet all the four tests. I'd like to move to approve this application.
Thank you. Second? Mr. Bartolo, in favor? Unanimous. Okay, unanimously approved. No conditions. Application number 30, which is 78 Falcon Street. And the agent here is Glenn Rubinoff. Are you still there?
Yes, good afternoon.
Okay, again, we need the name and address so that it can be recorded
Yes,
on the phone.
Sure, it's Glenn Rubinoff, Rubinoff Design Group, 18 Gloucester Lane, Toronto, Ontario.
Okay, so we have here a 4-story addition to the rear of the existing dwelling. We have 5 variances. Staff report has mentioned that you made some changes and they have a condition. So could you please give us a presentation, and we have somebody else to speak online.
Okay, so just quickly, it's not a 4th story, just to be clear. There's a basement, there's 2 levels above, and this is a partial 3rd story on top. It's really just a loft at the back of the building. So it's a small area of the building where they have a staircase going up to just a loft. And that's really what we're asking for here. The variance that the staff was concerned about was the patio area. So we've reduced the size of variance number 1 from 13.3 meters to 9.9 meters as per the staff request. The other variances are like it's literally the addition of about 316 square feet is what we're adding up there. So it's not a very big area, but the density that you have indicated here includes the basement as the
Are you still there? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, could you please check your equipment? There's some.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Turn that off. There. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the actual floor space index above ground is 62.6%, but including the basement, that's what gets it up to 90.8%. Again, we're only adding a difference. It's very minor. We're at 56.4% above ground without it, and 84.6% without it. So we're adding a loft, and that's what it is. The condition of side elevation we're fine with from staff's recommendation. And the height of the building, the request that we have is simply for that piece, that portion at the back of the building. It's the rest of the building is in compliance.
Okay. All right. So just before we move on, the application said 4-story and you say it's only 3. So I understand it's because of the basement and it's like a technical. But the way it sounds, no, it's only 3-story because it said here 4-story. That's number 1.
Oh, no, I know.
Okay. That's okay. Number 2, could you tell us what you're changing to what? State what you're changing.
So variance number 1.
Yeah.
So variance number 1, the proposed request is for the size of the platform.
13.3.
Is requested 13.3. We're reducing it to 9.9 meters.
Okay.
Square meters.
So that's
as
it.
Requested by.
That's the change you make. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and there is a condition there. Okay, so we have one more person here to speak, and we'll move on. Here we have Roseanne Flower. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Hi.
Can you please state your name and address so it can be recorded on?
Sure. My name is Roseanne Flower. I'm at 79 Taunton Road. Yes, so I just wanted to get a better understanding of what it is that's proposed, and I think I do understand now. It's just you're just adding a small loft on the top of the building, and you're reducing the size of the terrace. So I have no issues.
No issues. Okay, thank you.
At this point, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Robinov. Could you come back, please, Mr. Robinov?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct. Yeah.
So, yeah, we had one more speaker, and she said now she understands what's happening. Do you want to add something before we ask the members?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's a small, like I said, it's just a small addition on top and a small terrace. And that's,
okay, thank you. Members, any question? No question? Then can I have a motion? Ms. Sankar?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. I reviewed this application, and I'm seeing as well that the agent is trying to meet what staff has indicated, and I think that sits well with me. I'll put forward a motion to approve this application. I do believe it meets the 4 tests with the modification of variance number 1, which has been reduced to 9.9 meters. And I'll make it subject to this property being developed substantially in accordance with the revised north side elevation drawings submitted to the committee. And that's my motion.
That's it. Thank you. Second, Mr. Klassen, all in favor? Okay. Sir, Mr. Rubinoff, your application is approved, subject to the change you made and subject to the staff condition.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair?
Yeah. You want a break?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I know what you meant. Okay, so we'll have a 10-minute break. Thanks for reminding me.
Hmm?
If not, she can pass. See, the thing is, I didn't really think much of it. Somebody could just make one side. Because they're a neighbor. They don't care about our guys.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we resume the session, and we're in item number 31, which is 17 Glenbrae Avenue. And here we have the agent, Ali Shams. Are you there?
Hi, sir. Yes, I am here.
Okay. Can you please state your name and address for...
My full name is Ali Shams, and my address is 4325 5 Shepherd Avenue East.
Thank you. So we have here just a rare addition with 3 minor variances, but we have one more speaker, so please make a short presentation so we can call the other speakers, see what they want.
Sure. In this application, we have requested relief from 3 variances, which I believe is minor in nature, and 2 of them are interrelated. The first variance we have requested is building length. We have proposed less than 2 feet increase in permitted length. The second variance is a floor space index. What we have requested here is precedented. We are not setting a new precedent here. So I believe that this variance is a minor variance as well. And these 2 items, number 1 and number 2, are interrelated because we haven't any room. We don't have any room on this side of the building. One side is attached to our neighbor, and the other side we are setting back 3 feet, which is the required minimum required side yard setback. In order to increase the living space, we had to go more towards the back of the building without requesting rear yard setback. So we are just increasing the building length for less than 2 feet over the permitted building length. The last variance is building height. This variance is because of the portion of the building, the extension is a flat roof. On the flat portion of the house, which is a new extension, the building height is well below the permitted height. If you take a look at the elevations, we are not exceeding the permitted height for a flat roof on the extension. But what is making it a variance is that the ratio of the flat roof to the whole area of the roof is over 50%, and makes the highest point of the existing roof the building height. So that's the reason why we have requested for building height. Actually, we are not exceeding the permitted building height on the flat portion of the extension. I believe this is a minor variance, and I am ready to answer the panel questions.
Okay, thank you. Before we move to questions, we have one more speaker here. See if they're online to hear them, and then we move on to the questions. Chang Liu, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon.
Okay, hi. Could you please state your name and address for us?
Absolutely. My name is Chang Liu. My address is 15 Glenbury Avenue, East York.
Thank you. So tell us what's your concern about this application. There's three.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Thank you, the committee. We are residents and owner of 15 Glenbury Avenue. We are the attached neighbor of the other half of the semi-detached unit, just below 17 on the graph here. So we have a few concerns with the proposed expansion, especially with the variance. So with regards to variance number 2 and variance number 1, because it will take up a lot of the existing green space. So I have lived in this unit for many years, and every year in early spring, we experience significant flooding because of the drainage issue whenever there is a significant rainfall. And we're very concerned that with the added, especially with the variance, the addition will have a negative effect in the to the existing drainage problem. And our other concerns are with regards to variance number 1 and especially variance number 3 with the proposed building height. We're very concerned because our rear facing rooms, the proposed expansion, especially with the variance, will be sitting at exactly where the sunlights usually come into those rooms. And they will block a significant amount of direct sunlight for a very long portion of the years. And kind of related to that, we're also concerned about privacies in both of those rooms with the expansion. That mostly covers our concerns so far. Thank you for hearing us out.
Okay. Any question for the speaker? Okay, so Mr. Shams, can you come back, please?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so can you address that concern of this gentleman?
In terms of the light, hopefully the neighbor at 15 Glenbury is located at the south of the proposed application. So we know that in the northern hemisphere, the sun path is slanted towards the south, which makes the south more desirable in terms of the light gain. Even even reducing 2 feet from the length of the building, which removes the building length variance, I believe does not clear the concerns about light and privacy, because basically there is no light shortage for their home because they are located at the south of the property. So they gain plenty of light. In terms of privacy, our proposal is designed so that there is no overlooking to the neighbors' rooms. There is no window at the south where we share wall, and we just overlooking towards the backyard. And the other concerns the neighbor mentioned in their email actually is related to the home value, and they are they have concern about the home value, which I believe is not plausible excuse, and I don't want to address this concern.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Members, any question? Question, Ms. Satarodi?
Yes. I just, through you, Mr. Chair, question from applicant. You mentioned that there is no privacy, there's no overlook to the neighbors adjacent to the south. Do you have any fences on the south side of your wooden deck?
No, we haven't proposed any fences, but
then how does it not looking to the neighbor's property, which is right adjacent?
Basically, the neighbor is claiming that we are overlooking to their rooms, not their property, their rooms. We are not overlooking to their rooms.
But then, from your wood deck, will you overlook their backyard?
Yeah, but as of now, the existing condition, the wood deck overlooks to their property. We are not changing the nature of the wood deck because the wood deck is at the back of the family room, which is neighboring to the property.
Thank you.
Any other question?
No.
No other question. So can I have a motion then? Mr. Klassen?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciated the comments from the applicant and from the neighbor. In looking at the plans, it does seem that the variances are minor, and so I'd like to move to approve this application.
Okay, and there is no conditions, yeah. Okay.
There are no.
No, thank you. Second, Miss.
I have a question.
Friendly amendment?
So I would like to, yeah, friendly amendment, if it's possible. On the south side of the wooden deck, do you accept to put a 1.5 meter privacy deck?
Absolutely.
Are you okay,
Yes.
Mr. Klassen? You're okay with that?
I am, yes. Yes, I am.
Thank you.
The privacy deck.
Then Miss Atarodi is seconding it with that condition. All in favor? Unanimous. Okay. So your application is approved unanimously based on providing a 1.5 meter screen on the deck. Okay. So that's number 31 is over. Now we have number 32, which is 217 Woburn Avenue, application number 217. I mean, application number 32, which is 217, but is a lot 578 because there are two lots here. We're going to go to the next one. In the meantime, is number 32, which is 217 Woburn, lot 578. And here we have Mr. Frank Romano. Are you there?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Franco Romano, your action planning, 2095 Autumn Breeze, Port Credit.
Thank you. Okay, so we have here like one, two, we have 4 or 5 more speakers to speak on this application. I understand there is here only 3 variances, and there was some negotiation back and forth about some question of deferral, but at the end the councillor is supporting the application. So could you please make a presentation before we move to the other speakers?
Yes, sir. My presentation deals with both items 32 and 33.
Okay. I
If
believe
that's okay.
no, I believe because we have some speakers and they're not the same. Let me just take.
Okay, so I'll deal with 33.
Yeah, I think
okay.
we'll do
No worries.
each one separate because they're the speakers are not all the same. So Wallace, they could be the same, but
Okay.
let's take it one at a time, okay?
Yeah, thank you, sir. If my presentation slide can be brought up, please, I appreciate it. So I appreciate, Mr. Chairman, that your introduction there, because I was going to mention that we have worked closely with staff, and in dealing with staff, we have addressed all of the items relating to the site design, the site layout, and the build form. If we go to slide number 1, please. This is the third slide. So this third slide basically identifies that there are a number of committee of adjustment applications even on the street that is in keeping with the floor space index and the wall heights that's being proposed. So if we can go to slide number 1, please. What do we have in out of order? Well, what I wanted to show you is that the site plan shows that this dwelling is located within a full permitted building envelope, both the dwelling itself and the attached garage in the backyard. The green overlay that I'm showing in item number 32 is the east lot, so the one on the right-hand side. The green overlaps the building footprint. Building footprint is actually smaller than the green, so there is no length or depth variance. And that includes the garage in the backyard. The wall height is internal to the 2 houses, and you'll see that the wall height, I've shown that in that roof plan area. That's for the staircase to get up to the 3rd floor. And the 3rd floor, you'll see in the lower right elevation, it is stepped back. So what we see at the front is a bit of a step back at the 2nd floor, and at the back, part of the 3rd floor has got the step back in the front as well. So the floor space index variance of 0.85 is in line with what other houses on the street, even nearby across the street, and we'll see those at the top of slide 1, the first series of houses we see in the upper right, as well as on the same side of the street on the second series of photographs, 3-story dwellings in both the flat as well as a sloped roof with permitted balconies, because we are in an R zone where balconies and decks are permitted at the upper floors without variance. At both the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor, they're quite common both at the front and at the back. The roof slope, and I've shown those in the front elevation, is a gradual change from what is currently permitted. And the wall height is only on the inside, as I mentioned. Otherwise, the exterior wall heights are fully compliant with the zoning bylaw, as is the front and the back. So this application is quite sensitive and there's no adverse impact, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. So we'll see what these people have to say, and then we'll come back to you. Mr. Romano, there is here John Wallace and Donald Lamont. Or do they have to speak, or you're okay with you, just to you?
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, we had here two more people listed, but are you the only ones?
This is Donald Lamont. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Do you want to add something in addition to Mr. Romano?
No, the only, I'm here with Joan Wallace, one of the owners. And the only reason we were here is we were told that there was a request for a deferral. And we would speak to that if the committee's considering that. But otherwise, we have nothing to add.
Yeah, no, right now we're just considering the application. So, so there is no, we have no request for deferral. The agent does not request the deferral. So we're going to go to the next speaker and see what happened. We have here Janice Toms and Robert Kidney. Are you there? Janice Toms, are you there?
Mr. Chair, we do not have a Janice or a Robert on the call at the moment, either by name or number. So maybe we'll come back to it at the end.
If they show up, let me know. Thank you. Okay. We have here Holly Shoneman. Are you there? Holly Shoneman?
Yes, I am here. Holly Shoneman, 203 Woburn Avenue.
Thank you. Can you please tell us what's your concern about this application?
Well, one of the things I will say is that there were several mailings on this, none of which described the roof slope. So that is new information, and that is helpful. It is the height of this building combined with the proximity to Greer that I find objectionable. Now, I'm talking about 577, which is the Greer-facing building. I feel it's not in keeping with the residential character of having trees and lawns, and I feel that it is not a minor variance to go to 0.15 of a meter on a 3-meter variance. I don't think it's an appropriate change for the neighborhood. And this garage is already where that laneway is, and people are pulling out of that laneway, is already a challenge for people because there's a lot of kids using that road. So as that garage is built up, because the existing garage is just a very small building, I think that's going to create a danger for traffic and for pedestrians where the cars will have to pull out quite far into the sidewalk to be able to see up and down Greer.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned 577. That was the next application. But 57, we are in 578. But you know what? I think we're going to change it and make... Mr. Romano, are you okay if we take both of them at the same time? Mr. Romano?
Happy to, sir. I'm happy to, sir. I just did not. I did not speak to that setback though, so I'll speak to it in response
later on. But you're okay to address the two applications together?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because originally I said no because the list has changed, and all the ones who are speaking on 578 are the same ones who speak on 577. So. Okay,
it's okay, sir. You're just keeping me on my toes. No worries.
Thank you. Okay, Holly Shoneman, any question to her? Any question for this speaker? No? Okay, the next one is Adam Weingarten. Are you there? Adam Weingarten?
Mr. Chair, we do not have an Adam Weingarten present either by name or by phone number.
Thank you. In case they come, let me know. Okay. Okay, now the last one is Lisa Knight. Are you there?
Yes, this is Lisa Knight of 200 Woburn in the Lawrence Park North area.
Thank you. Can you please tell us what your concern about these two applications here? They're the same.
Yeah, so for context, this is a corner home. So particularly concerned about 577. So a couple of things on that. So first, with the Variance 3 environmental impact, there is a mature tree on the lot that will either be severely injured or cut down to accommodate construction, especially at that height, from what I can tell. So that's number one. Number two is Variance 4. Again, it's, similar to Holly, just want to emphasize these laneways have to be thought about more. It does create a safety risk. We have a high traffic of students, of parents, of kids going both ways up and down Career, up to John Wanless Public School, going down to Lawrence Park and Glenview for school on a regular basis. There is laneway visibilities already from parked cars, and it just adds to the lack of it. We had a house change just on the other laneway, which continues to cause issues where you cannot see people. It poses a big safety hazard. So the combination of the environmental impact and the safety hazard on this corner lot has to be thought about carefully. And just, want to be sure that we're not eroding the character of this neighborhood and we're not creating safety or environmental issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Any question for the speaker? No? Okay, so no one else showed up? No. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Romano, could you come back, please, and make any comments you like about the two applications?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to see slide number 1 again, please. So the setback that is being requested is only for the west lot, so that's 577. And it is for a window bump out. So on the left-hand side, you're going to see in blue text, it says 0.15 meters for the bay window bump out only. And that bay window bump out is shown in a black and white or checkered rectangle. So the balance of that side yard setback is zoning bylaw compliance. So you'll see that 0.15 meters is within the building length and does not project out towards the front and does not affect sight lines and does not affect the city tree. The city tree that's next to it, you'll see is tree number 1881, and that is to be protected. And we've worked with urban forestry in order to ensure that that tree is being protected. So the majority of the trees are being protected. If we look at the lower right, that essentially bay window is those, you see those 4 vertical windows that are correct. Thank you kindly. And I couldn't do this much better if I was live here. Thank you. That is the 0.15 meter setback. So it doesn't even go to the ground. It's basically a bay window that has a 2-story component, and that's why there's that setback. So I think that was the concern that was raised by both persons that spoke. And the overall height is actually zoning bylaw compliant. And as I mentioned, the wall height is in between the 2 dwellings. So the wall height is not to Greer Road, which is to the west, and it is not to the eastern side to number 213. And by the way, 213 Woburn actually is written in support of the application. So I submit that there is no tree impacts, and the setback is definitely minor. But for the fact that it's 2 stories, it'd be permitted to have that as a bay window at any event. Subject to any questions, sir, I'm happy to assist again.
Thank you. Any questions to this agent? Miss Tarodi?
Through you, Mr. Chair, it's not a question, but just a confirmation that the bumped out on the west side is related to lot number 577, application 33.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's a question. Miss Sankar, question?
I have a question too, sir.
I'm sorry?
Judging from the photos, I'm seeing that this house, I guess what I want to ask is if it was left as is this also a sort of a safety hazard in the way that I've not seen photos like this before where it does look like it's falling apart?
The structural integrity of the existing house has been compromised. Yes, there's a structural report, and you'll see some photographs on file. So there would be some substantial work involved, if not removal, in order to make sure that part of the building at least would remain, not certainly not its entirety. So yes, it is structurally compromised right now.
Right, so that's a safety risk to not do something about this one.
Yes, I would agree.
Okay, any other question? Ms. Sankar, you have another question?
No, if no other questions,
okay.
I can make a motion.
Okay, if no.
Mr. Chair, do you want me to
Well,
do the
hold
two
a second.
together, or?
Yeah, I know. We asked for deferral. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Romano, we mentioned there was a mention of deferral by the heritage planning, and also mentioned by the councillor. The councillor retracted that, and the members will have to decide if the heritage recommendation of deferral is warranted. So, members, if you want to make a decision, I'd like to hear a motion, and keep in mind that there was just a comment about the heritage that asked for deferral. So, can I have a motion, Ms. Sankar?
Okay, through you, Mr. Chair. Looking at this, I think that the agent did a lot of, I guess, legwork to talk to the various individuals involved, and I see that there has been change from the councillor who is now fully supporting this application in the area. And just from visually looking at this, I think it could be a hazard to not work on this property, and leaving it to me is more for a risk to the community as is. And I've heard some of the concerns from the other parties, and I will make this subject to forestry. So I will make a motion. My motion is to approve items number 32 and 33. That's lot 577 and 578. And I'll make lot 577 I guess I'll make that one, I think only one of those subject to forestry. And I think that's my motion. Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if I could make just a friendly amendment, because for item 32, there is a memo from forestry as well. It's an advisory memo, but perhaps we could
Okay,
just
so then
include that.
I agree, Mr. Klassen. So member Klassen, I will accept that, and I'll make both of them subject to forestry.
Yeah, they're basically identical. Okay, so the motion is to approve subject to forestry. Second.
So can I also have a friendly amendment?
Second one,
Ms.
okay.
Sankar if she accepts, so we also, for application number 33, lot 577, we just tie it to site plan.
Attached to site plan. What's could you explain the
What
reason?
are we trying to accomplish by doing that?
Yeah.
Just an explanation for variance number 4, which is the proposed side yard setback is 0.15, is only for that bump up of the window. It's not for an entire side.
So we're not attach it to the site plan because of the thing is not straight. The window, I don't know. Do you still want it?
I feel that it speaks for itself, and I think in this public forum, the agent has stated that, and I think that that's already shown within, the drawing. So I'll leave my motion as is.
So the motion is to approve the application subject to forestry on both number 32, 578 and 577. Second. Can I have second, please? Mr. Klassen seconding. All in favor? Opposed? Mr. Tarodi is opposing, and the application is approved. Mr. Romano, your application is approved, subject to forestry on both number 32 and number 3, and they're all accepted. They're all approved.
Thank you kindly. I appreciate your assistance. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, have a nice day. 32, 30. Okay, number 34, which is 50 Fairholme Avenue. And 34, we don't have anybody besides the agent. Let me just take a look. Yeah, just the agent. And here is we have Dov Barry Nussenbaum. Are you there?
Mr. Chair, I am unable to unmute this participant, so if he could please sign out and make sure that he authorizes his mic and sign back in.
We should hold it.
So we'll go on to the next one.
Okay, and please remind me for the next one. Okay. Okay, so we'll go to the number 35, which is 35 is 27 Burnaby Boulevard. Application number 35. And here we have Martin Kenwood Smith. Are you there? Mr. Smith, are you there? Martin Kenwood Smith is regarding 27 Burnaby.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you please state your name and address for us, just for the records?
Right, my name is Martin Smith, and I am at 27 Burnaby Boulevard.
Thank you. This is a new covered rear deck, 2 variances, minor. There is nothing else. Members, do we need a presentation here? No. Okay, sir. We don't need the presentation. Do you want to add something before we move to the decision?
Not really. Just to say that the problem is the setbacks, and the houses are so close together that I think that extending the deck right along, projecting from the edge of the house, seems like a reasonable request for a variance.
Thank you. Any question? If no question, can I have a motion there, please? Which one first? Okay, I have 3 the same one. Okay, Miss Tarodi, yours was just a little bit before the other ones. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Through you, Mr. Chair, I also believe it's very straightforward and it's meet the 4 tests. Therefore, through you, Mr. Chair, I would like to put forward a motion to approve this application.
Thank you.
With no
Second,
condition.
Mr. Klassen seconding. All in favor? Okay, your application is approved unanimously, and there is no condition. We'll go to the next one, which is 36, 680 Coldstream Avenue. And here we have Cliff Hewitt. Are you there? Cliff Hewitt.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Could you please state your name and address, please?
Yes, it's Cliff Hewitt, 680 Coldstream Avenue.
Right, so you're
Toronto, Ontario, M6B205.
Very good, you're the owner. Okay, so we have here a rear yard garage, 2 variances, and 7 letters of support. Do we need any presentation? No? Okay, sir, we don't need any presentation. Did you want to make any comments before we move to the decision?
No, but I had about 10 minutes of speech. I'm not sure you want to hear it.
No, it's up to you. If you hear it, we might change our mind. So please go ahead. Did you want?
Oh, I hope it's for your favor.
I don't know. Don't question us, please. You have the right
Okay,
to speak.
no.
You have 5 minutes. You want it? Fine. If not, we'll move on.
Yeah, I'll give a little preview, I guess. Is that okay?
It's up to you. Go ahead,
Okay.
please.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. My name's Cliff Hewitt. I'm the owner of the subject property being 680 Coldstream Avenue before this hearing today. I've sent out packages to each one of the 17 neighbors on the street. In these packages, I inform the neighbors of the variance I'm asking for, and if there are any concerns, to let me know. I have had nothing but overwhelming support from my neighbors. As you will see in my supporting material, I have 6 letters of support, and I might add, one of the letters wasn't sent in, or it was sent in, but I don't know what happened to it. I received a call from 672 who supports my application. My neighbor at 679, directly across the street from me, who turned 100 years old this past summer, called and said that I could use her driveway and she was in favor of this application. Most importantly to me, my neighbors adjacent to me gave me their full support and have no issues with this application. As you can see by the pictures in my folder, the neighbors at the rear, and that's in the CA cover letter, and that's on page 10 and 19. The back of the property, they're triplexes, and they're covered by 30-foot cedars on my property. The garage will be at approximately 110 feet from the road, and the 2 houses will be obstructing the view of the garage. My proposed bill will have no overlook issues, no shadowing, no drainage issues. I've increased the setbacks away from the property lines by a large margin, so there will be no issues. I think by the bylaw, it's 0.3. I've increased them to 1.2. I've worked with the zoning examiner to try to eliminate as many variances as I can. There are only 2 variances that I'm requesting. Before starting this project, my wife and myself have walked the neighborhood for months trying to get a feel for the development around us. The neighborhood is not the same as when we bought the property in 2000, almost 21 years ago. Development has exploded, which in my opinion is good. Seeing different houses, different shapes, new construction. I've talked to previous owners of the property at 298 Hillmount, what their father used the garage for. I also spoke to the owners at 370 Glen Park, and both things they had in common when I spoke to them was that get the neighbors on your side. And you never have too much storage or usable space. Also in the material I submitted to you, you will see garages larger than this application. The property at 370 Glen Park had a favorable decision by this committee. I'm not a professional planner or a lawyer. I'm the property owner of 680 Forestry Avenue. I tried to educate myself listening to this committee and the hearings that have taken place. I presented in my support material the recent decisions which I know of. As mentioned, the property of 370 Glen Park decision was in 2016. Property at 120 Hendon in 2020. That's an unusual one to me, listening to the many hearings of this committee. The owners were turned down at the Committee of Adjustment, turned down at T-Lab, came back to the Committee of Adjustment and were approved with a flat roof of 5.69. which is even more usable space than the slope roof of the same height, and had overwhelming opposition. I know the Hendon area very well. I know there are no structures in this neighborhood of that same height. I've worked in North York area for the better part of 30 years with a local utility. I know listening to this committee, every decision is based on the merits of the project. Precedent does not take place. Chair and committee members, I've gone over the 4 tests. My application is minor in nature. It doesn't have any impact on the neighborhood. I have support from the neighborhood. There are no overlook issues, no shadowing, no drainage, no adverse effect to the land. I have surpassed side and rear setbacks, no impact to the neighbors, overwhelming support, no transportation, no forestry, and I think it's desirable for the neighborhood. In my opinion, this application meets the 4 tests, and I hope you'll see that. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer to the best of my ability. And one further thing, I've added a planning report that was done by Weston Consulting Group, September 2021. And because of the underutilization of the subway, Glencairn, they're proposing massive building. And in my supporting material, you can see that at Wenderley, and Marley, at Glencairn and Marley, there's projects already started.
That's it, sir.
Oh.
You have your 5 minutes over.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sorry.
Any question for this gentleman? Can I have a motion there, please? Mr. Bartolo? Mr. Bartolo?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I'm inclined to agree with the information put forward by the applicant here, and I appreciate the conscientious manner in which he's done it and working with everybody around him. I think it's a great approach and a good example of an owner doing things properly and for themselves. And with that, I'd like to put forward a motion to approve this application.
Thank you. There's no condition. Can I have a second, please? Mr. Klassen, all in favor? Okay, sir, your application is approved and there's no conditions. You made a very good presentation. Okay, now the last one, which is, we skipped on it, is 34, which is 50 Fairholme. And is the gentleman there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, this is 34. This is Doveberry Nusenbaum, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you have you have an application here, and it's one variance. Transportation, no objection. Let me ask the members: do we need a presentation here? No. Okay, we don't need the presentation. Can we move just to the decision, or you have something to say?
No, it's just that for having issues getting in.
I think, sir, I think you're cutting off. Yeah, you're cutting off. Could you please adjust your equipment there, because we hear you cutting off.
Yeah, just that we with minor variance because we wanted to have some issues getting a garage in the winter, and we wanted to widen the driveway a bit.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Any question? If not, can I have a motion there, please? Mr. Klassen?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a minor. It does meet all the 4 tests. I'd like to move to approve this application.
Thank you. Second, Ms. Satarodi, all in favor? Okay. Sir, your application is unanimously approved and there is no condition. Okay, so that marks the end of our presentations, the end of our variances and applications. So can I have a motion to terminate? Anyone for a motion to terminate? Oh boy, I have 3 at the same time. Again, can I have one, please? A motion to terminate. Mr. Bartolo?
Motion to terminate.
Mr.
Go.
Bartolo? Second, Ms. Sankar, yeah? And all in favor? Okay, thank you. Everybody's anxious to go home, huh? Okay. All right, so thank you. And what time is it?
Thank you.
4:04.
Thank you, and bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye, staff.
4:04.
I will see you in 2022.
Yeah, we'll see you next year.
See you next year.
Is this our last?
Have a good night, everybody.
Yes.